The beauty of Rio de Janeiro's mountains, bays, and beaches offers a dramatic backdrop for next year's Summer Olympics. But the waters, where swimming and boating events will take place, are so contaminated with human feces that athletes face the risk of becoming violently ill and unable to finish the games.
I've never seen numbers this high reported, at least in the literature I've read.
A 5-month investigation by the Associated Press found dangerously high levels of viruses which can cause fevers, vomiting, and diarrhea. More than 150 water samples were collected by a top Brazilian virologist during 4 rounds of tests. Samples from the Rodrigo de Freitas Lake, which will host the rowing and canoeing competitions, measured up to 1.7 million times the level that would be alarming on a Southern California beach.
We used to use it to
John Griffith, a marine biologist from Southern California, examined the protocols, methodology, and results of the AP tests.
The numbers actually that were generated are more than we typically see in raw sewage in the United States.
The AP investigation includes the first comprehensive testing for both viruses and bacteria at the Olympic sites. The Brazilian environmental agencies only test for bacteria levels.
You don't have standards for the quantity of virus in relation to human health when it comes to contact with water. You can have that for suitability for drinking, but for contact and recreation, that standard still does not exist.
Nearly 1,400 athletes will be sailing in Guanabara Bay, swimming off Copacabana Beach, and canoeing and rowing in Rodrigo de Freitas Lake.
Yeah, this is by far the worst water quality we've ever seen in our sailing careers.
Another expert who examined the AP data estimated that international athletes would have a 99% chance of infection if they ingested the equivalent of just 3 teaspoons of water. Whether a person will fall ill depends on immunity and other factors.
Yeah, we had a few sailors who were getting problems and they were getting sick and diarrheas, and I'm quite sure if you swim in this water and it goes into your mouth or nose that quite a lot of bad things are coming inside your body.
Periodic die-offs leave the competition lake littered with rotting fish corpses. The once crystalline bay is strewn with household debris. Despite decades of official pledges to clean up the mess, the problem remains. It stems from an explosive population growth and an infrastructure that failed to keep pace. Most raw waste runs through open-air ditches to streams and rivers that feed the Olympic water sites.
The levels of sewage treatment in Brazil are very low, about 16% to 20% nationwide. Unfortunately, we still have levels comparable to some African nations and to India.
As part of its Olympic bid, Rio promised to build 8 treatment facilities. As of now, only 1 has been built. For the Austrian sailors, the best course of action is simply to keep their heads above water.
We are doing the best we can, but if you get strong winds, the situation is quite out of your control. You capsize, you swim, and then there's a problem.
As the clock ticks down, local officials say there's simply not enough time to clean up the waters ahead of the games. Luke Sheridan, The Associated Press.